Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here, and when Chris Caramelli and George Rodriguez asked me to speak at this event and asked me what subject I would like to touch on, I thought about talking about the industry of the past 50 years where I've been very closely involved with. But then I said that is really history. So let's speculate about what the next 50 years for this exciting industry are going to look like. One of the greatest things about our industry is it's one of the most ancient and oldest industries in the world, and we have survived and flourished over long periods of time. We have enabled creation and growth of multiple sectors of the global economy and contributed greatly towards the well-being and the prosperity of humankind around the world. Just for a few examples, the leather, paper, and chemical industry would not be what it is today had it not been for the chemical industry. The same applies to the building and construction industry, the food and agriculture industry, automotive and transportation, personal care, pharmaceuticals, mining and metallurgy, water treatment, energy, and electronics. The whole notion of Moore's law of smaller, cheaper, faster has been enabled by the combination of physics and chemistry. And the list, frankly, goes on and on. These successes have been driven by continued innovation and partnership with our customers. We have contributed immensely towards improving quality of life across the world for centuries. The first half of the last century, industry hallmark was innovation, rapid growth. Our industry grew at a rate of 2 to 3 times the global GDP, and the European and the US companies dominated the landscape. Large and middle-sized companies participated across the wide spectrum of end markets. Most of our were in inorganic chemicals, organic chemicals, commodities, specialties, serving pharmaceutical, agriculture, building construction, automotive industries, and many, many more. The last 50 years truly changed the landscape. Because the industry was maturing, our growth rates came down from 2 to 3x GDP to more like growth of GDP. Migration of growth from mature markets to more emerging markets, particularly Asia, and emergence of competitors closer to feedstock in Middle East and some parts of Asia and Latin America. Clearly, as the innovation slowed down, commoditization increased. And our research really became more incremental rather than breakthrough. Environmental health and safety challenges really became very important for the industry to clean up the past and also to recognize the importance of health and safety of our employees and the customers who handle our products. It actually resulted in a significant reputational damage to the industry. We saw profits pool shifting from the chemical makers more to the retailers and converters, as well as the power of the oil and gas producers and the commodity chemical producers. So effectively, I would say the profit pools were shifting across the whole landscape during this period. While we were one of the most ubiquitous and omnipresent industry, we were very fragmented with hundreds and thousands of discrete products and thousands of companies playing the field. How did the industry respond to these numerous challenges? We clearly recognized the need to clean the environment and pay increased attention to health and safety of everything we did. And it led to Responsible Care Initiative by the American Chemistry Council, sustainability notion of triple bottom line, increased productivity of our assets, process innovation as opposed to product innovation, increased globalization to chase growth, and more customization of our products. For individual companies, it resulted in consolidating, deconsolidating, specializing, and most of them got out of the pharmaceutical and ag chem business during this period of time. And emergence of new, stronger players from outside of the traditional Europe and US chemical companies. Many of the major names of the industry sort of disappeared in the process. Just to name a few: Hoechst, Union Carbide, and ICI. Industry leaders during this period really were, I would say, smart asset managers who constantly sought focus, specialization, and scale. And one of the honorees today, Jon Huntsman, was clearly one of the key players in this process. Frankly, the industry is at crossroads once again. I believe the scale advantage that became so important in the last 50 years has a diminished impact, thanks to the information technology, where the smallest of the innovative players anywhere in the world can reach out to markets anywhere in the world. Diversity of feedstocks beyond what I would call traditional ones like oil and gas, to biomaterials, waste, and things like that. Product life cycle, the responsibility of industry, not just making the product and selling them, but also from cradle to grave notion of the responsibility of the industry to manage through the life cycle of the product. Increasing customer demands for innovation, service, and delivery. So yet again, we are at a crossroad. How can our industry respond to these many challenges? I think we have to think about how we become more market-focused and applications-focused, really find opportunities in biopharmaceuticals, biomaterials, and biodegradable materials. Also think about how we can work with flexible feedstock source rather than the traditional oil and gas. Also really develop what I would call flexible manufacturing, closer to customer, less capital intensive, so as the industry shift, we are able to shift without the burden of high installation cost of these facilities, and also be closer to the customers. Also, I would think that we will see more breakthrough innovation in our industry as opposed to more incremental approach. We'll also see more partnership across this value chain I talked about between the producers of raw materials and the final consumer of the product. Result would be next wave of consolidation, deconsolidation, emergence of new players. Innovations will be led by smaller companies and even individuals, more like what we see in the biotech industry and the electronics industry. Frankly, this could be and should be even more exciting period than what our industry has enjoyed over the last 50 years, or for that matter, even longer periods of time. And this is certainly my expectation and prediction that the world we will operate in would be very different than what we have experienced in the past. Our honoree for lifetime achievement today, Jon Huntsman, whom I have known for a good 30+ years, is a great example of the leaders in the industry who created a large corporation, saw the importance and the value of consolidation and specialization, and in the process have created an $11 billion very successful company in Huntsman Chemicals. There are also today other honorees, Peter DeLue and David DeLue, who have been part of the Huntsman Line Capital Alliance, and also Marcelo Odebrecht, who has really created an outstanding global company and invested out of Brazil. So all in all, our industry has seen enormous progress, faced many challenges very successfully, and I have no doubt that we are ready to grab the opportunities and change as necessary to create more value for our customers and remain a vibrant and essential part for the next 50 years and perhaps longer. In closing, I want to congratulate Jon Huntsman for receiving today Lifetime Achievement Award. I cannot think of a better person who deserves it more. Jon, I've known Jon for over 30 years. Jon, congratulations. I also want to acknowledge other honorees today, David and Peter DeLue, who've been part of the Huntsman Line Capital Group, and Marcelo Odebrecht for creating a powerful company out of Brazil in this space. Gentlemen, congratulations, and thank you for making me part of this event. Sorry I could not be here in person to congratulate you in person.